Greetings, yogi. Welcome to another Roots of Peace yoga practice. I'm Chelsea, and today's practice, core strength, is clearly all about your core. But we're focusing on your front core as well as your back core. A lot of times when we say core, we're just thinking about the front, but front and back gotta go together. I learned the hard way early on that if you have strong ab muscles and weak back muscles, it can cause some problems. So making sure that you are staying balanced and even on your front side as well as your back side is very important. Today, you will need your block and your mat and comfy clothes as always. If you don't have a yoga block, something that you can hold between your knees, we're gonna be doing jackknives, which I'll break down in the video, but something that you can squeeze in between your knees that's not super heavy in case you drop it. You don't wanna like smash your face or anything scary like that. Full disclosure, I already filmed this video like 2 weeks ago, but I got really excited for a photo shoot that I was doing and I deleted it without putting it on my computer. So lessons were learned. So this is take 2 of core strength, which is completely okay. Find what you need to find, get settled, and I will see you in a few moments. Hey there, yogi. I'm gonna have you start on your back in half corpse pose today. We're just gonna finagle, there we go, around Luna. And there she goes, gone again, so predictable. You're gonna start with pelvic tilts today just to warm things up before we get into our core work. So inhale to drop the pelvis, arch the back, and push the belly towards the sky. So you're creating a little bit of space between the back and the mat. And then exhale, press your spine into the earth. So inhale to arch, exhale to flatten. So essentially you're just rocking your hips. You're going down and then you're tucking your tailbone. So your hips are just rocking back and forth. Stay with your breath. And these can be slow. They should be slow, if I'm being honest. And now you'll turn this into 4-part moving bridge. First 2 parts are taken care of. So you're inhaling to arch, exhaling to flatten the back into the mat as you tuck your tailbone. Stay in that position and then inhale to lift up into bridge pose, tailbone still tucked. And exhale, lower back down. So continuing with your 4-part moving bridge, arch on the inhale, flatten on the exhale, rise on the inhale. You can add your arms too if you need some extra motion. And then exhale, float back down. Let's do 2 more rounds. Your pace, your breath. And as you rise up into bridge pose, engage your tummy muscles, engage your core. And when we say core, we're talking about your abs, of course, but also your back muscles, like your torso is your core. All right, from here coming up, happy baby. A few breaths. If you want to rock, you can. Push any tension out. And come back to center. Deep breath in. As you exhale, drop the left side all the way down to the mat. 2 breaths here. Breathe deep down into your belly. Trying to stay in the body. This is why we tap into the breath. Inhale back up to happy baby. Big old breath. Exhale, drop the right side. Oh, my block's in the way. All right, there we go. I hate it in class, especially if I'm teaching. If I knock a prop over and it's like really loud, that was, there we go. I've had that happen a few times, like I've knocked over my water bottle. I've done it when I've been like taking a class too. Back up to happy baby on your in-breath and you're just like, oh God, I'm the loud one in class, shoot. But hey, it happens. Mistakes are a part of life. Deep breath in, drop your knees into your chest, rock side to side a few times. Come back to center and then bring the soles of your feet together for reclining butterfly, but we're gonna jazz this up a little bit. So we'll move to butterfly crunches. Butterfly crunches are awesome because having your legs in this shape kind of gets them out of the way so that your core work can go into your lower abs as well. Hands are gonna go behind your head. I like to put my thumbs at like the very base of my skull, just because you can't really like pull too much because it's also a pressure point. So you're not trying to like pull up on your neck, your hands are just there to guide you. So inhale to lift, crunching into the abs. Exhale to drop, and you'll feel this in your back muscles too. So trying to squeeze and activate your front and your back core. And keep these a little slower. I see a lot of people like, whoa, going to town, but you lose your control, and then if there's not intention behind it, a lot of times it's not working the way that you would like it to. So slow these down a wee little bit and control the up and the down. This is why we time things with our breath in yoga, because it's a little easier to regulate that intention. So take 2 more. Release down, bring your knees into your chest, rock side to side. Knees can be together or wide, up to you. Return to center. You're gonna find your handy dandy block or your prop of choice that I went through in the intro. So take your prop, place it between your feet. That's right, I forgot, we're doing jackknives. So you're gonna start with your prop in between your feet, arms back behind you, reaching out, and then you're gonna inhale to come up, grab the prop, exhale, drop the arms, drop your legs. So you're gonna have to do these slow to stay in control so you're not sliding all over your mat. So inhale up, take the prop into your feet, exhale to lower back down. So keep going with your jackknives. These are pretty difficult. So go slow. If you have to take a break, take a break. We're gonna do 2 more. And then later, if these serve you and you wanna do more of them, you sure can. I'm just kind of throwing some different exercises at you so you can use them down the line. Sometimes I like to just do my own thing willy-nilly, and I like to have different postures and tools in those practices. You can quit your jackknives, those suck. And take your block off to the side for now. A few side-to-side rocks. Plant your hands by your hips, and then you're gonna reach your feet to the sky again, wiggle your toes out, rotate your ankles. Moving all that junk out of your energy channels that live in the body. Anytime you're wiggling or moving, you're releasing toxins, especially if you're putting intention behind it. Okay, so leg lowering's coming at you. Inhale, drop the right leg so it hovers. Exhale, bring it back up. Same thing on the left, drop on the in breath, lift on the out breath. And these again, fast or slow, but stay in control. Stay with your body. It's very, very important to be mindful about what you're up to for lots of reasons, but a big reason being that if we're not paying attention when we exercise, we're much more likely to get injured. I've done this multiple times over the years on my quest for wellness and health. I'm not paying attention, my mind is somewhere else, and I pull a muscle or I throw my back out, heaven forbid. So stay in the body, stay with what you're doing. Take 1 more on each side. And drop your knees into your chest. And a lot of times, maybe this isn't the truth for you, but for me, in my day-to-day, if I'm not paying attention, I hurt myself. Like I whack my elbow into something, or I smash my finger in a door or under something, and it's because I wasn't paying attention. You can come back to center. Let's take some rock and rolls back and forth. A little bit of spine love. And come up to boat pose on this next one. So boat pose, we often think of as being a core exercise, but it's actually your hip flexors along with your core, and your whole body is engaged for the most part. So staying in your boat pose, you can straighten your legs if you would wish. 2 more breaths. And release to rock and roll. Next, roll up, make your way to tabletop. Come onto all fours, check in with your joints. a few rounds of cat-cows. Inhale, belly pushes down towards earth as you look forward. Exhale, belly tucks, so does the pelvis. And the crown of the head bows down towards your mat. Go with your breath, per usual. Two more rounds. Again, we're mostly focusing on core today, so we're just throwing a few other postures and movements in to warm up the body. Step to high plank. In your high plank, push your heels back behind you. Activate your calves. Make sure that your wrists are under your shoulders and that your booty's dropped, that you're not up like this, because we're not in down dog, we're in high plank. Once you're here, hold for 2 more breaths. And now move to your down dog. And going from high plank to down dog, trying not to move your hands or feet. You can shift a little bit, but ideally like they're in the place they should be for when you go into down dog. 2 breaths. Release your neck, drop your shoulders. In breath, step feet to hands, forward fold. Breathe in, half lift. Breathe out, slide down to fold. Rise, extended mountain. Drop down, fold. Half lift. Take your fold. Watch your core as you do these. So engage your belly muscles because a lot of the motion is coming from your core activation. It's allowing you to lift and lower and rise, all those good things. Drop your hands to heart center. So you're gonna take your legs wide. You'll probably step off your mat. You want them much wider than hip width apart. Arms are gonna come out, and we're gonna do these moving pinwheel things. They don't really have a name that I know of anyway. So you're gonna inhale to take your right hand to your left foot, ankle or shin, and then exhale back up to center to your arms. Same thing on the other side. Inhale to drop, exhale to come up. So we're bending and twisting. When you drop, push your hips, push your tailbone back behind you to protect your knees. And you should have a teeny tiny bend in your knees. You don't want to lock them out because that's how injuries happen as well. Take these slow again, control the motion. And we'll do one more on each side. Back up to center, and now bring your feet just a little bit closer together, wee little bit. And we'll take goddess legs. So goddess squat, sink the tailbone back behind you, and then your knees shouldn't go over your toes. They're rotated out just ever so slightly. Arms come up for goblet. We're gonna hold here for 2 breaths. Straighten, drop the arms. So remember your squat. We're gonna do goddess squat crunches. So sink back down, weights going behind you, hands come behind the head, and then inhale to crunch right, exhale, back to center, crunching left, and back to center. Keep going with these. Again, slow and steady wins the race. I know I'm saying that a lot this video, but it's very important. It's so easy to speed through things and then we miss the mechanics of some of it. And you can drop a lot or a little. The idea being to focus on the sides of your body where your obliques live and feel into that. And you can feel yourself like pulling on one side and crunching on the other side. Bringing awareness to these target areas you're working on. One more each side. Release the arms, straighten the legs, bring your feet back so they're hip width apart. Rise, extended mountain, drop, forward fold, half lift, take your fold, rise back up, extended mountain, reach, 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 drop to fold, half lift, forward fold, step or hop to high plank, and in your high plank, We're gonna move to side plank. So you're gonna rotate off to your left, turning, reach your right arm up, and your feet are either both on the mat. You can drop your left knee, or if you're feeling extra sturdy today, let's see if I can pull this off, you can stack your feet one on top of the other. There we go. So again, feeling into your obliques, but your core is engaged with this too, and I'm shaky. So if you're shaking, that's completely okay. Drop the right hand down, high plank for a breath. And now rotate to the other side, turning to the right. Right hand stays planted, the left hand comes up. Again, feet can be crisscrossed, stacked, or you can drop your right leg. Staying here and just check in to notice if one side is a little bit more wiggly than the other. You can return back to high plank. Deep breath in, push up all the way down to the belly. Lift for cobra. Stretch out your tummy muscles. Release down and float to child's pose. 2 breaths here. Every time you breathe out, release and let go. Make yourself up to tabletop. And then you're going to step to high plank. Few options for you here. You can stay in high plank or you can start moving planks. So drop the right elbow, the left elbow, push up with the right hand, push up with the left hand. 2 more on this side. Staying sturdy as you go. And then we'll switch. So drop the left elbow now and the right elbow. Push up with the left hand and the right hand. 2 more. Keep your core engaged. Try to keep your booty dropped. I think mine's lifting a little bit, but these are wicked hard. Okay, back to down dog. That's better. 2 breaths here. Come back forward to your high plank. Deep breath in. Chaturanga down to the belly. And now we'll move to cobra swims. So arms are cactused, fingers are tented, and then you slide them so they're in line with your shoulders. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. So with these cobra swims, we've done these in videos before, I want you to take most of the weight out of your fingers if that's comfortable for you. So they're just there to kind of kickstand and guide, but as you inhale, let your back muscles do most of the work. Because again, your back muscles count as your core. And so by keeping the weight out of your hands, you're building a little bit more strength than you pushing up with your arm muscles. And you can even do this like Spider-Man hangout, I don't know what to call it. Like, it reminds me of like jumping out of an airplane where you're like, ah. But you can bring your hands up so that your back is doing most of the work. Press into earth with your hips. 2 more rounds. And float to child's pose. Sink into your child's pose for 3 breaths. Come forward for tabletop. Swoop your legs to the side. And release for half corpse pose. Once you're in your half corpse pose, we're gonna do 1 more core activity and then we'll cool down. So feet going high to the sky, heading into mountain climbers. So inhale to take the right hand to the left foot, ankle, calf, wherever you're gonna go. Exhale, drop. Same thing on the other side, left hand, right foot, ankle, calf, and drop. So stay with your breath, lifting your head and shoulders as you go and crunching into your abdominals. Try to keep the middle of your back and the lower part of your back cemented in so that you're not wiggling around. Just your upper half is lifting. And do your pace. There are many, many ways to climb the mountain. And we're all on our own different paths, so keep that in mind. Especially, it's the first part of the year, so there's lots of resolutions and things flying around, and it's very easy to compare ourselves to others. But try to recognize that you're your own unique person and your journey is much different than somebody else's. One more each side. Drop your knees into your chest. Few side to side rocks. Great work today. Core is never really something that people look forward to. I mean, maybe you do. I'm not one of those people. You can plant the feet for half corpse and then stretch them long into Shavasana, or you can take reclining butterfly legs, whichever you prefer. Close your eyes down, and we're going to take 5 deep belly breaths to close out. Give your toes and fingers some wiggles. Gently roll to one side or the other. Pause for a breath. And now rise to a seated position. Eyes open or closed, up to you today. Thank you so much for joining me and for taking care of yourself and being here. I greatly appreciate you, and I hope you're having a lovely 2023 so far, with all the love and so much light. Namaste.